The battle here is that human attention is finite. And so OpenAI, Meta, everyone's making a play for who are you talking to that then enables these MCP-enabled agents to come and do the job.
Remember, every platform ergonomically wants to have its own app store. So I think that the notion of an app store being built on top of a new platform where ChatGPT and then presumably other frontier models as well wanting to become.
That quote that you had, I've heard it 100 times. A million startups just died because of what they rolled out yesterday. Yeah. It's absolutely not.
The future is arriving faster than anyone expected. Full self-driving, FSD technology is finally stepping into reality. Cars that don't just move, but think. The quality of these self-driving systems now depends entirely on computing power, meaning every byte, every calculation directly shapes safety and precision. But with this progress comes a moral challenge. Do we accept rare, unavoidable crashes or limit AI potential? At the same time, OpenAI is breaking barriers with the power to connect ChatGPT directly to apps like Booking.com, Canva, and Figma. Imagine simply saying, design this or book that, and it happens instantly. The competition is fierce. Meta, Google, OpenAI, and Elon Musk's X are all racing to dominate our digital attention. The age of everything apps has begun, and we're witnessing history unfold right now.
FSD is coming online, and all these cars are going to start driving themselves. And the quality of the driving is directly tied to the amount of compute available. So we're imminently going to make very, very difficult decisions around, tolerate a very rare car crash versus give somebody the ability to build something at home using AI. I mean, it's just incredible the difficult decisions that are coming immediately after all these functions that we're about to see get deployed.
And at the same time, also limited by energy, which we'll talk to in this conversation. I'm going to move us to a few of the features of the OpenAI Day. We'll see a few things. I didn't show the video here, but one of the primary high points was they're talking to apps within ChatGPT. They have an apps SDK. And the ability for them to say to Booking.com, book me this trip, or Figma, diagram this, or Coursera, teach me this, or just speaking to Zillow, it's the ultimate interface with all the other apps out there. What's the significance on this for you, Imad?
Well, I think attention is all they need, as it were. Like, the battle here is that human attention is finite. And so OpenAI, Meta, everyone's making a play for who are you talking to that then enables these MCP-enabled agents to come and do the job. What is the 10-cent WeChat type super app that's coming together? Because everyone's folding themselves into these nice kind of things. And again, that's how they're going to try and monetize. So you'll see this battle between Meta via WhatsApp, Instagram, things like that, Google and OpenAI to try and occupy that real estate. And then, of course, Elon's going to come in with X and all sorts of interesting things that come with it.
Yes.
Everyone's trying to be the everything app.
Yeah, for sure. Dave.
Well, in a second, we're going to see actually something built by voice. Why don't we look at it? And then we can, it's actually really cool when you see it live.
The Codex example?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come to that. But before, I'm just wondering, when OpenAI drops this capability, are they picking winners in the final result? Or are they going to be equally, sort of spreading their attention across everybody? And are they basically eating away all the entrepreneurial startups? There was a tweet that went out. I was trying to capture it, but it said, okay, OpenAI just eliminated, a million different startups out there working on their approach.
Remember, every platform ergonomically wants to have its own app store. So I think that the notion of an app store being built on top of a new platform where ChatGPT and then presumably other frontier models as well wanting to become the new operating system, or it certainly rhymes with Facebook platform moment when Facebook launched that as well. I think that that's a very natural market movement, but I would also perhaps caution at some point, I think it's reasonable to expect that every pixel is going to be generated. It's not just going to be vector art or HTML type graphics. Every pixel is going to be generated. So I would view this as almost a transitory moment where apps are floating on top of ChatGPT as the new operating system environment, but it's a passing phase. At some point, every single pixel probably wants to be generated. That was my first thought. The other thought is, do you remember, Peter, back in 1987 when Apple, without Steve Jobs, launched their Knowledge Navigator concept?
Yes, I do.
We're living in that now.
Yeah.
We're living in that where, professor is having a conversation with basically similar type canvas that is able to pop open new apps and interact with them on demand. We caught up with the future. Approximately 40 years later, we're living the Knowledge Navigator future.
Now imagine a world where every pixel, every line of code, every sound you hear is AI generated. That's not science fiction, it's happening right now. We're officially living in the Knowledge Navigator future that Apple once dreamed of in 1987. But this time it's real. People are building startups in minutes using ChatGPT, from naming the idea to designing pitch decks and raising funds, all powered by AI. Elon Musk did the same, got stuck in traffic, imagined a tunneling company, and created the Boring Company. The line between thought and creation is disappearing. We're entering an age where your idea instantly becomes reality.
One of the examples they had here, on their demo live stage, they had an individual propose a new startup. In this case, it was a dog walking app, and they said, "Okay, create me an image for it, create me a name for it," and then they said, "Okay, Canva, turn this into a deck. I want to raise money." At the end of the day, we're not too many steps removed from, ChatGPT, start this business for me and start, wiring the revenues to this location.
I think that's the multi-trillion-dollar end game here, where at some point we see autonomous corporations.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
think that's
literally did exactly what you just said, Peter, yesterday at a red light in Cambridge as I was sitting there, created a business plan and tried to recruit a Princeton team into it via AI at the red light. We'll see if they say yes. But
that's insane. That's like when Elon said when he was driving from SpaceX back to his home in Beverly Hills, and there was traffic, and he goes, "Damn it, I'm going to start, a tunneling company. It's going to be boring. I'll call it Boring Inc." And then there's literally a future in which we're going from mind to materialization. It's stating what you want to do and having the universe conspire to create it for you. That's crazy. Imad.
Yeah, I think, he has the Boring Company, but then he has his even cooler name of MacroHard, his new software company.
I love that.
Against Microsoft.
Elon is a 13-year-old kid, for sure.
Which is literally trying to do this. It's trying to create ideas to full companies entirely digitally, right? Yeah. And I think what you've seen is three phases. Consumption was expensive, it became cheap. Creation was expensive, it's becoming cheap. And now the valuable thing is curation and attention. So again, the battle is who can have that value for the pixels that you see, for the noises that you hear. And then a lot of that creation element is going to be abstracted away. And I think all the big players realize this.
And the question is, where does it end up? Where does it go eventually? Dave?
Well, no, that quote that you had, I've heard it 100 times. 1 million startups just died because of what they rolled out yesterday. Yeah. It's absolutely not true. Show me the names of those startups that died. And this came up when we were talking to Amjad Masad a couple of weeks ago on that other podcast, the founder of Replit. He had to build his entire foundation model from scratch to get to market because it was before, OpenAI had the APIs. And you ask him, do you regret that? You had to throw away all that code. He's like, no, I absolutely don't regret it. You constantly have to change. AI is going to move at this ridiculous accelerating pace.
If you're not reinventing your business constantly, you're dead on arrival.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But your team is intact. If you have a great team and you're in AI, you will succeed every single time. Yeah, maybe something you do gets crushed by the next iteration of OpenAI, but you pivot so quickly and easily, just like we're talking about right now. So you show me the names of those companies, those million companies that died, they don't exist.
Creation is no longer expensive. Attention is. So the question is, who will control the world's focus next? Like, share, and subscribe for more mind-blowing insights into the AI revolution.